Hey there, welcome back to the channel PantherSchools. My name is Amit Singh and we are back again with another Salesforce flow scenario. This flow scenario we are going to talk about outbound message, how we can send a message to the external system whenever there is a record or trigger happen in Salesforce, like record is created, a record is updated, or a record is deleted. We can basically send the information to external system. In the real-time project, you will always have a lot of requirements where you wanted to send the data out of Salesforce whenever something happens inside Salesforce. Some DML operation happens in Salesforce, and that is what we are going to see. There are multiple ways to send the data out of Salesforce, and one of them is outbound message. And because we are talking about Salesforce flow series, we are going to talk about outbound message. Before we talk about the scenario, or before we say that where to send it, let's basically sign up for a platform called Pipedream. Okay, Pipedream is a platform which is going to be uh, helpful for us to test our outbound message. So the link is here, which you will also get into the pinned comment, that is pipedream.com, and you can go to pipedream.com /auth/sign up, and you can use your email. You could be using your Google email, or you could be use the direct email for sign up. I have used my Google email, and it is asking me to set up my workspace. So I'm going to say go ahead and give the workspace as PantherSchools, and my workplace is visible, available. I can see the green check marks. Continue. Then it is asking me if I want to invite someone. I would say no, go ahead and skip it, and I would say uh, what I'm going to do over here. I'm going to say other. Okay, and I would say testing. Click on okay. How did you hear about us? I would say social media. Just put some random text over here. Click on continue. Once you click on continue, you would be basically taken to some workflow you really don't need to worry about. Just go ahead and click on untitled project, and you will be taken back to this particular screen. Okay, now when we talk about outbound message, outbound messages are basically the data we wanted to send to the external system. And when we are sending the information to external system, we need a URL where we can send the data to external system. So what happens basically, external systems like SAP, Oracle, or some custom uh, development which we have done, they give us a URL which say that this is the URL where you need to send the data. And that URL is basically a URL which will always be on, which will always be up, listening for the new data. Okay, you send it, it will receive it. So what we have to do is we have to say okay, we have to click on sources, and we need to create a new resource. Once you click on new resource, we will see something called HTTP webhook. Okay, we have to select that. Then it says that what kind of request we want. We will say new request, and then we can give the name. Maybe we can say high opportunities. Okay, and then click on create source. So once you click on create source, it basically gives you a URL which we are going to use inside Salesforce. This is our URL, and you can see it is waiting for the event. It is waiting for our event which says okay, I'm waiting for the event. And we, as soon as I hit this URL, you will see okay, let me take this URL, open a new tab and hit it. So it says success true, and if I go back, you can see here it has received 2 events. There is nothing but it has received. Okay, I can go and remove this by clicking on that cross icon. So this is the one thing that we had to do. We had to create the Pipedream account, and we have to go to the sources, and we have to create the source. A source should be type of HTTP webhook and new requests. Okay, now let's talk about the scenario. The scenario is whenever an opportunity is created and the amount of opportunity is more than 100k, Again, if the opportunity is created and the amount of opportunity is more than 100k, we wanted to send the following information to external system. In our case, that is pipe dream. So what we wanted to send, we want to send name, we want to send amount, stage, account ID, close date, description. These are the different fields which we want to send to the external system. Now to send the information to external system, we need a URL which we already have got. So let's log into Salesforce, and the first thing that we need to go to the setup and search for outbound message. And once you search for outbound message, you will find under process automation workflow actions, you will find outbound message. Do not select this monitoring one. We need this workflow actions outbound message. Then click on new outbound message. It will ask us to choose the object. In our case, it is opportunity. So we will select the opportunity as an object from the drop down. Click on next, and here we have to provide certain information. First thing is the name. So we will say high opportunity. High opportunity. Description, you can add it. The endpoint URL. The endpoint URL is the URL which we have just created. So we are going to take that and paste it. Paste that URL for the endpoint URL. User to send as, select the system admin user. In our case, you will be system admin, so you can select that. Then do you want to send the session ID? If you check this, you can also send the session ID which they can use in order to send the data back to Salesforce. Okay. Now what information we need to send is amount, close date, account ID, and let's add description, campaign ID, the name of opportunity. Okay, let's add one thing as well, is one. Then the name of opportunity, what was the lead source, and if you stage is also one thing important, the type of opportunity. These are some fields which we want to send. If you want, you can send all of those fields, it's up to you, but some of the fields we want, and we go ahead, save it. Now our outbound message is also ready. As of now, outbound message is not being utilized by any workflow rules, it is not being utilized by approval processes, or even not being utilized by our entitlement processes. Okay. Now what the requirement says, whenever an opportunity is created and the opportunity amount is more than 100k, then we need to send it. Or whenever you can change the requirement, you say whenever an opportunity is updated and the amount is changed to more than 100k, you can send the update to the external system. You can do it for both create and update, right? So let's go ahead and create a flow, and this time this flow is going to be on the opportunity, and we wanted to create a record triggered flow. So we'll say start from scratch, click on next. I'm getting the same flow again. Okay, I would select a record trigger flow. Okay, one thing that I've noticed over here which is not related to requirement, that is in the previous session when we created a flow, we got a different screen for choosing or creating the record triggered flow, but we are again back to the previous screen. I'm not sure why, but I would say that's fine. I have to create record triggered flow. Click on create, and object is opportunity. A record is created and updated. The condition is amount should be greater than 100k. So we'll say amount is greater than 100k. Okay, so we have got greater than 100k. When to run the flow for updates, we will say only run when the amount is changed to make it more than 100k. Actions and related record, yes, we want to say actions and related records, and then click on plus sign, and here we need to search for outbound message. Okay, we don't get, so we'll say action and we search for outbound. And once you search for outbound, you will see that it says high opportunity, which is an outbound message created on opportunity, and the name is high opportunity. We select that and we'll say AC01, and we are going to say send opportunity to pipe dream. Okay, so we are sending opportunity to pipe dream, and let's save it. So we will say send high opportunity to pipe dream. Send high opportunity to pipe dream. There is a typo, I'm going to correct it and save it. We have already selected the outbound message, so we don't need to put anything over here. You will see this is already done. This is an outbound message which might fail. We will add a fault path, and as usual, this time we are going to use create record, which is going to be create system log record. System log record. How we want to set the value? We want to set it manually. What is the name of our object, which is system log, and we already got the flow details. We need couple of more like log title, the message, parent ID, and parent name. Because we also have the parent ID, parent name, we can also associate those. So the first field which is missing is title, message, then parent ID, and finally parent name. We got these. What is the name of our flow? Let's copy the name of our flow, which is send high opportunity to pipe dream. What is the node? So let's edit this node. Okay, and go back to our fault path, paste it here. What is the flow type? Record triggered flow. What is the label? Error. Status is new. Log title. Message is going to be flow dot fault message. Parent ID, the ID of the opportunity which has triggered this flow. So we will say record dot ID. Parent name, the name of opportunity, record dot name. Now what is the title? The log title, right? So we will say error while sending the outbound message. Outbound message. And if you want, you can also add the opportunity name over here. Like how you will do is you will say record dot name. Okay, and then whatever you have copied, you post it over here. You can say like this, error while sending the outbound message for record dot name, and put like this. So this is how you will basically create the error log record, system log record, if there is any error while sending the outbound message. Now let's go ahead. You can also add a fault path over here. By skipping, you can just say I want to skip it. You add assignment operator. I don't want to do that because we have already talked about multiple times. We will go ahead and debug this. Save and debug. And for debugging this, how you want to do? You want to have for a create it, or do you want to test it for update it? Depending on which one you want to test, I want to test it for updated. Select an opportunity and make sure you change the opportunity amount, okay, which is more than 100K. Let's change it. Let's take the campaign ID as well and click on run. So it has not triggered. Why it has not triggered? Maybe the amount of opportunity is not satisfying. But let's first check. Let's first make sure that we are checking opportunity amount is greater than. So let me copy this value. Click on debug again. Save and debug. I want to run immediately in case of update operation, and I want to change the opportunity amount to some bigger number. Okay, and run this. Oh, it has still not triggered. How? It says user start condition opportunity amount, which is this, greater than this. Sorry, this is the prior entry condition and this is now the entry condition. It says opportunity amount, which is this, greater than this. That is correct. Prior entry condition is I have only one condition. Why it is taking two? It is checking the previous amount. Okay, and saying if the information has been changed or not. Let's test it for. Okay, let's click on debug again, and this time I want to skip the start condition. Okay, you can also skip the condition of your flow and click on run. You will see that it has basically ran correctly. If you go back here, it has given nothing because nothing is happening. Let's go ahead and activate this. You can also see why that update was not working. I'm not going to go deep there. I don't want to spend much time here. Let's go to the opportunities, okay, and open any opportunity. So this is my opportunity where amount is already, I think, greater than 100k. It's not greater than 100k. It's more. It's just I think, yeah, it is. It is okay. So I just have to go, and I don't want. I cannot update the opportunity amount. Okay, why? Because I have added the product. So if I say, if I add a product and say, let me add a product, maybe the bigger one, this one, which has 150k. Quantity I would say 2, which will make even the amount more bigger. Save it. So now the amount is somewhere around 410k. If you go back to our pipe dream, we are not seeing over here. Why? Because we have not made any updates on the opportunity, and it's going to be really difficult for us to make the changes under the opportunity, for especially for the amount field if we have related products. So what we will do is, we'll say okay, not to worry, we'll go to the opportunities and we will click on new opportunity. The name is pipe dream opportunity. I'm going to put some amount over here, which is going to be really big number, more than 100k. Let's select the account. Lead source stays, maybe we'll say negotiation review. Primary campaign source, I'm selecting certain values over here, and let's select close date. Click on save. So at least for create, we should be able to see that our record triggered flow is triggering and it is sending some information to pipe dream. We have saved it. If you go back, you can see here you have got one information, one post request. If you click on it, and this is how it looks like. If you want, you can go to the pretty print to see this is how it looks like. You want, you can go to the raw file. You will see an XML format over here. You go to the structured and you can see this is your body. If you click on the body, you will see your body in the form of XML. You will see the ID of your opportunity. You will see the account ID. You will see the amount, which is basically converted in some short forms. Campaign ID, close date, lead source, the name of your opportunity, stays, and existing customer replacement. The session ID is also here. If you see, you have also send the session ID. Along with this session ID, you also get something called enterprise URL, partner URL. Why we are sending this session ID? So sometimes the external system basically wants to send some information back to us. Okay. Sometimes external system wants to send some information back to Salesforce. So how they will be sending? Because they want to send the information for the opportunity. Okay. Whatever the, not opportunity actually, for the data which they are receiving. For example, they have received the data for this opportunity, pipe dream opportunity, and they want to send something, right? So what they have to, what you can do is, you can send the session ID. Once you send the session ID, you will basically they will read this session ID from the XML body, and they will say that okay, I want to send the update back to this. Okay, that is why we are sending the session ID. But if you see that we have just sent one time, we have created only one opportunity, but we are getting the information for the same opportunity 4 times. Why is so? Why this is happening? What is the reason behind this? Okay, and let me show you also one thing. If you go back to setup and you again search for outbound message, under the environments, this time you need to select outbound message for monitoring. If you click on this, you will see that oldest failure in the queue, next item for the delivery. And we are getting some error saying that content is not allowed in prologue. You keep refreshing, you can see what are the number of attempts? 4. How many number of times we received the data? 4. And why so? So basically what Salesforce says that if you are creating an outbound message, I want to accept the data like this. So whenever I'm sending something to you, whenever a data, my bad, whenever a data is sent to the external system using outbound message, you need to send the information like this saying that I have received the data. You need to send the acknowledgement like this. If you are not sending the acknowledgement like this, Salesforce will say that, Salesforce will think that there is no data which was sent to the external system, there was a failure, and it will keep retrying up to 72 hours. Okay, and in our case, our source, what we have created, if you go to the configuration, my bad, where is that? If you go to the events, you see this is our URL. If you take this URL, or even here itself, if you see what is we are sending back to Salesforce, we are sending a JSON format where we are saying success is true, which is not correct. We have to correct this. Click on edit code and configuration. For the response type, you have to select application by XML instead of JSON, and for the body you have to send this body. Again, I will keep this body into the pinned comment so that you can get it. Okay, now this is the body which we need to send back to Salesforce. Now this is the form of XML. If you want, you can like remove the spaces. If you want, it's not necessary that you remove the space. Click on update props. Okay, now if you go back to the events again, the fifth event is also here. You go back to your monitoring, you will see after refreshing. Okay, let me refresh. Oh, let me refresh this. You can see here the number of attempts were 5. And if I say retry, let's click on retry manually. It has retried, and if you go back, we got the 6th event here, and this time we got this body which is again coming here. And if you go back to monitoring, you maybe refresh this page. It's not refreshing, maybe I will do page refresh, and it is still saying that bad envelope tag element. Our response is still not correct. Our response is still bad, because that is not the correct response that we need to send. So what I'll do is I'll quickly ask the response from ChatGPT so that we can replace it. Okay, so I have asked the response, I found it here. This is how the correct body should look like. So we will go back to our pipe dream, we'll go to the configuration tab, and we will replace our response body with the correct which we have found this time. Click on update props, go to the events, go back to Salesforce outbound message and click on retry. We have retried again, and if you go back to pipe dream, we will see that there is another retry we have received here. And if we go back to Salesforce under the outbound message delivery, we refresh this page, you can see there is nothing now, because now Salesforce has received the correct response. That is why there is no error. Now if we say okay, I'm going to clone this opportunity, or first let's try to update this details. I'm going to update it. I just removed one letter, one character from the amount, basically one number, not character. And if I save it, we should receive this information back in the pipe dream. It's not receiving, it's not sending. Maybe our flow is not configured correctly to work in case of update. That is why we are not receiving. That is also fine. You can play around with your flow configurations. We can go ahead and clone this opportunity. I would say cloned, pipe dream cloned, saving this, and this time I should see another response back which is at 5 p.m. and I can see the name of my opportunity is pipe dream opportunity cloned. So that's basically how you can send a outbound message to the external URL. You don't need to bother about the URL from where you will get that URL. All you need to know is how you configure it in Salesforce. For testing purpose, we have used Pipedream, which is really an amazing platform for simulating our outbound message. So this is it for this video. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, please feel free to put down into the comment section. If you have any scenario, put into the comment section and give it a like, share, subscribe, share it with your colleagues, friends. Basically, share it as much as you can, because we want to learn everyone. Okay, we want to make learn everyone, and we also, if we get a good response, we'll also get motivated for creating more and more videos. So we'll meet in the next video. Till then, keep learning. Thank you. Bye bye.